And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Thank you, Katie, for a great poem.
Yes, and that's poem number 2.
Poem number 2.
So she's got her creative juices going here.
I'm telling you, I can't wait for poem number 3 now at this point.
I know.
And thank you for it, because I understand that poem was dedicated to the River Landing staff. So
yes.
We decided, I think we were just talking about this, that we are going to put that on Care Merch.
Right. We'll get it to Cindy and have it uploaded onto Care Merch.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yep. So everybody can enjoy it.
Trying to text me right in the middle here. So, Lisa, boy, we had an awesome weekend.
We did. It was beautiful out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to ask John this, because John Scroggins is going to be our guest today. But great weekend for bird watching if you happen to be bird watching this weekend. And I have 4 feeders in the back of my house that I have, and I've got cardinals and bluebirds, and I've got, I was telling Lisa this, but it wasn't this weekend, it was a couple weekends ago, but I must have had several families of goldfinches that came and visited my thing all at once. It was about 15 of them, and I was in the garden, working in the garden, and I saw them, and I wished I'd had my phone, and I didn't have my phone, but it was amazing to me to just see that sea of yellow all over my boxes, and it was really.
You may never see that again.
I know, it's pretty cool.
That's amazing, that many.
And I don't know how to say this, so I'll have to ask John, but we just found out that we have we had a bird that came that was a bluebird. It wasn't a bluebird, but it had like blue color to it. And my son has a bird book, and so he saw it really up close, and he thinks it's I don't know if they call it a grosbeak. Is that what they call it, a grosbeak? And it is a beautiful bird. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been really a good time we'll get into birds when John comes up and does his thing. But I'm excited about today.
Yeah,
I got some questions for him about my bluebird house anyway. So, okay, so let's see. Are we going to turn the hourglass?
Yep, almost forgot.
Let's turn that hourglass.
You wouldn't leave me by myself.
You can do it. I got faith in you, Lisa. You can do this. You can do this. All right. Very good.
We almost ran it out Friday, so.
We sure did.
That was the closest we have ever come.
When we had Tim Weber here.
Yeah.
And the good news is, Lisa, we forgot to do this. We had these plans that we were going to have 2 people in our stead, right?
Right.
We were going to say, well, unfortunately, after Friday's show,
we're no longer here.
But we didn't do that to you.
No.
I think partially because we ran out of time today. Didn't get a chance to do that, but that was a good show.
It was a great show.
Yeah, and
Tim was a good sport,
and the interrogator that came out was
he was good.
I'm telling you, Leonard, I think was his name. Leonard, and I don't remember his last name, but he had Mr. Weber going pretty good there.
He did.
Thought.
He also got Homer honey cakes.
Honey cakes, yes.
Now we've gotten a lot of fun out of that one.
And we will continue to.
We will continue. He gets beet red if you call him that.
Yeah.
So if you do run into Homer, try it out.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, honey cakes, and see how he responds. It's worth a try.
You know, Homer honey cakes. It's got a nice ring to it.
It does have a nice ring to it.
All right. Well, this has been a Scroggins event so far. It's our guest today is John, and he'll be coming out, as I said, a little later. But
and Katie with the poem.
Yeah. So
and now trivia.
Trivia is going to come from John too, right?
Yes.
Which we knew about from Friday.
We did. So people have had plenty of time to research this one. I'm surprised Michelle's phone isn't already ringing off the hook.
Yes. And what is our prize for today's trivia?
It's a wonderful prize.
It's a bottle of wine.
A bottle of wine.
Do you know, we didn't think well enough ahead, John. We should have had like some bird seed that we were going to give out, or a bird box, or something like that. That would have been much more appropriate.
It would have.
Well, maybe we can still do something like that for the future.
Sure, we could. Yeah.
So, but why don't you go ahead and read the trivia question?
So the trivia question. Let's see. What was Long John Silver's parrot's name? What was his parrot's name? Long John Silver.
Yes.
Okay. If you know the answer, call 336-389-4103.
Wow.
The lines are now open.
Somebody must have it on speed dial.
They
because
must.
She went running out of that room.
She just ran out of here.
She ran out of So I think a lot of people were researching that this weekend. What do you think?
I think they were too. So just in case this person isn't right, 336-389-4103. But she ran out of here quick.
She did.
So.
She did. All right.
Oh.
Well, we'll see what happens with that. So, okay. So let's do a quick little update about the coronavirus. I'm sure you all are probably hearing me talk, getting tired of me talking about it as much as I don't like talking about it. But let's kind of just see what the numbers look like from this weekend. 'Cause, the numbers are important. We all know that if you keep watching the governor, and I keep referencing Dr. Mindy Cohen. She's the one that usually goes over the metrics for, us being able to start phasing out of what we're currently in as far as our lockdown mode. But if you keep watching that, you'll see that it's numbers driven. I mean, the metrics are very numbers driven. So speaking of which, so today as comparison, I'm going to be giving you today's numbers and doing that in comparison to what we gave you on Friday. So so for today, the number of completed tests, remember this comes from the Department of Health and Human Services, the completed tests as of today are 146,439 for North Carolina. That is a 12,607 increase over what it was on Friday. So we're continuing to keep hitting that 4,000 mark a day, roughly, a little over 4,000, which I know is one of the metrics.
It is.
So that's good. The number of confirmed laboratory cases, the ones that are positive, as of today is 11,848. That's about 925 more than what it was on Friday. And when I did my little math again, it came out to 8.1% positive cases as compared to completed tests. So we have been...
It's been right around there.
Right on that 8%, 8 to 8.5% for the last 2 weeks now. Unfortunately, the number of deaths have gone up, although maybe not quite as much as it has been running. We went up to 430 deaths, and we were at 399 on Friday, so that's 31 more. And this is good news, I think. The current hospitalized, we were at 547 on Friday. We're 498 today, so that's dropped back down by 49, so that's very good too. And now another county has had a case, so 99 out of the 100 counties now have cases. I haven't gone back to see which county it is that doesn't have it, but maybe we can figure that out.
Check that out, yeah.
And then just for some of the counties that have the higher amounts, Mecklenburg is at 1,734 cases. That's 83 more than Friday. Wake is the next highest, 891. That's 52 more than last Friday. Durham is at 767. That's 31 more. Wayne is at 685, and that's 27 more. And then right around us, Guilford went to 443 cases. That's only 28 in the last 3 days. That's not too bad. And Forsyth went to 271. That's 26 more. So, not too bad as far as number of cases over what we were on Friday. So, the numbers seem to be a little less right now, which is good. I mean, when you start thinking about it that way, if it's 28, that's over a 3-day period, that's less than 10 a day. So we're seeing that I see that as a positive sign. At least I hope it is. We'll see if that trend continues or not. And then the other part of the report is, again, talking about cases that are in nursing homes and retirement communities. And so as of right now, we have 2,217 confirmed cases that are in nursing homes and retirement communities. That is 82 more than where we were on Friday, and that's about 18.7% of the total confirmed cases are in nursing homes and retirement communities. We also, unfortunately, have had 240 deaths coming out of nursing homes and retirement communities. That's 23 more than what we were at on Friday. And unfortunately, that's also 56% of the deaths are coming from nursing homes. But that is down a little bit from what it was last week. And then the last thing is that we track how many nursing homes and retirement communities have had an outbreak or ongoing outbreaks, and we did increase by 6 as of from Friday to today. So we're at 79, and we were at 73 on Friday. But this is what the interesting thing was. So Guilford on Friday had 2 nursing homes that had an outbreak and 1 retirement community. And it says in here that after 28 days of not having any symptoms, once the symptoms had passed, after 28 days of no new cases, they drop off the list. And so the one that was in here for Guilford Friday has dropped off, and we know what community that is.
Right.
And so we knew that they might be cycling off the list, and they did. They cycled off the list. So there are no retirement communities in Guilford at the moment that have any kind of outbreak, and there are still the 2 nursing homes in Guilford that we are aware of that have the outbreak. So, some good news and bad news kind of mixed in there. So that's kind of it on the numbers. Let's see, we got a bunch of other stuff to talk about.
Yes, we just have some other updates.
Yeah, some pretty cool stuff too.
Right, right.
So I think a lot of you hopefully have seen your mail and saw a letter that Dan Phillips put out last Friday, asking for residents to consider, if they would. We have a new fund that we're starting. It's called a Staff Assistance Fund, and this is actually going through our foundation. And the idea is for River Landing residents, or really anybody, because we've even had staff members who have found out about this now who are saying, how can I contribute to help out? So it's River Landing folks helping River Landing folks. So it's River Landing residents and staff helping River Landing staff members who may have some issues and financial issues and could use some help from a financial perspective. And so, Lisa, I think there's some reasons why. I think we had an email from a couple people that just said.
We had some residents asking, what could those reasons be? Because we see everyone's still working here. So why would there be a reason for some of our staff members to need assistance? And so some of it is loss of income due to reduced hours or having to have given up their second job. So Tom talked last week how we had 23 staff members that work here as well as another retirement community, nursing home, hospital.
Whatever.
So as of, was it over a week ago, we required our staff to only work at one place if they were in healthcare. And so those folks gave up their second job to make us their priority. So for them, they've lost that second income that they were counting on.
Right.
Loss of income due to layoff of a spouse. So maybe their spouse isn't working.
Right.
Loss of insurance due to spouse layoff. So now they're having to find another way to obtain insurance. Unforeseen child care expenses. That's been a difference for some. Daycares, a lot of daycares haven't been open.
Right.
So they've had to find alternate ways to be able to cover those costs.
Yeah, and that's just a couple of examples.
That's just a few of the things, just to give you some ideas of what it might go toward.
I think the important thing, though, for residents especially, but the staff as well, to know is that, River Landing folks that give to this fund, first of all, it's tax deductible. It's going through our foundation, so it's because of that, it's tax deductible. But River Landing funds will be used for River Landing employees. So if you give funds to this account, even though it's going to the foundation, it's earmarked for River Landing and it stays at River Landing, just like the other 2 communities that we have. Glen Eyre residents would be wanting to contribute towards Glen Eyre staff members, and Scotia would do the same thing. And I think that makes perfect sense to me that would be the case. So, and then it's my understanding is I think they're going to have that Presbyterian Homes has a 2 or 3 person committee that would look at the applications. We have just rolled this out to staff here in regards to applications for these monies, and we have a small group that would be looking at the applications and making decisions as to who they feel like should get some of these funds and who shouldn't be. So it's a good thing. Very good thing. And so any of you that are interested in doing this, I think some of this came up because, and I think just one last point about this.
Right.
This came up because we had a resident at another community that got stimulus fund monies, and said, I know I could give it to annual appeal or something like that, but is there something I could do for the staff with this money? And so that's kind of how this idea generated, because that person really wanted to be able to help those staff members who may be struggling because of the pandemic. So
Right.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And another thing related to our staff is it's that time once again for our annual scholarship fund, where we have staff members that want to further their education. They fill out an application, and our committee then, scholarship committee, reviews that and awards those. Typically it's been in July. We don't know how this year's going to look.
Right.
But we have Jim Kalacki and Wiz Horner on later this week to talk more about the scholarship fund and the committee and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But that was another positive thing that we rolled out on Friday to our staff, was the applications to turn in for some assistance for educational.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, we gave 13 scholarships away last year.
We did.
So
We did.
I think that's awesome.
Yep.
Oh, the next thing is, have we talked about this at all?
We haven't. This is fresh.
So
hot
this
off
is
the
fresh and new.
Yes. Nothing's out there yet.
So residents will see this on CareMerge probably this afternoon?
Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
at the
they're
latest?
still working on the form.
Okay. So we decided as a staff, a couple weeks ago, we put out a little contest. River Landing, especially our staff, I think our residents like it too, but our staff really like shirts from River Landing.
Right,
and so we know that, and they wear them. They wear them continuously. I still see people with the 15-year anniversary
That's
shirts.
staff and
all over.
resident.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
both. And so we decided, you know what, we're kind of all in this together. Let's come up and do a contest for the staff members. I think this is Morgan Cranford's idea, our Director of Human Resources. Why don't we come up with a design for the shirt and then hashtags for it, just little sayings for it. And so we put out a contest to the staff members, and we gave out a nice little cash prize for the winners. And so we've come up with this great little design that was a winner, and it's basically a tree.
Right.
And the tree has, as its trunk, it's labeled as residence, as the trunk of the tree, and then above the tree are these little leaves, I guess you would call them, and it has all the different departments and
all the services,
and even our vendor partners that are here that really we can kind of consider them to be staff members. So the design's really cool. It says underneath, it said rooted in service. It says underneath the tree, and it says River Landing family across the top of the tree. And so there's a couple other hashtags, but you all are going to see this coming up. We are going to go ahead and commit to buying a shirt for all of our staff members and all of our residents. We're going to go ahead and do that. We think we're in this together.
Right.
Residents and staff are in this together, so we want everybody to have a shirt. Kind of feels like that 15th anniversary thing again to me again.
It does.
And it was funny, Lisa. We were like, okay, so what color shirt would be best, and how do we do this? And we said, well, you know what? We like purple. Wait a minute, we like black. Oh, we like the navy. We like the red. So we're like, well, how do we choose between those four? Because they all look good with the white lettering on it, right?
Yep.
And so we said, why do we have to choose? Let's just go ahead and let everybody else choose.
Let each person choose.
They can choose what color they want that way.
Absolutely. So we'll get to see a sea of color.
A sea of color. Everybody can pick their favorite color.
Yep. I love it.
And so everybody will get a shirt for free. Now, we want this to be such a fun thing that we thought, well, if you're having a hard time choosing colors, and you like two of them versus the four, you like two different colors, well, should we give people a chance to buy them? So the answer is yes. So there'll be a form that's going to come out for you all. You can tell us on the form what color you want and what size you want for you as a resident, but you also have an opportunity if you'd like to purchase an additional one because you would like another color, you'd be able to do that.
Or you want to buy for a family member.
Oh, that's true.
It's just an opportunity for you.
And this is all it costs. So the shirts are $7 a piece, and so that's what we're going to be selling them for. And quite honestly, I hope we sell 1,000 of them. I really do. I think it'd be great to be able to have, you said, like a sea of color here. So be looking for more information about that. That'll either be coming out today for you or it'll come out tomorrow at the latest. And we do want you to try and get those forms turned back into us by the end of the week. We'd like to be able to order at the end of the week. Take a couple weeks to get the shirts. So, but I think it'll be great. Okay.
Okay, the next one, we had an interesting comment. I had an email from a resident that said, maybe we should call our social distancing physical distancing instead.
Physical distancing.
So when you think about that.
That's hard to say, Lisa. I like it, but it's hard to say. Physical distancing.
Physical distancing. Physical distancing.
Yeah.
We could do it.
We can.
We could do it. And their point was, we're such a social community here.
Yeah.
So when we say that social distancing, it makes it seem like we can't have contact with people.
Right.
And it's not that.
Or that we don't like people, or that we don't love people.
And that's not who we are.
That's not who we are.
So it's really physical distancing. You can still be social. It just you have to be physically 6 feet apart.
Right.
Unless, I like that.
Unless you're married, of course.
Then you can be closer?
You can be closer together. Well, I don't know. There might be some couples that are using this as an opportunity to
I was going to say, Tom, you might have
stay
to
6
that
feet
away from
you.
someone.
I know my wife likes to use that one a lot, so I don't know what that means exactly. But, oh well, so yeah. So.
But I thought that was a neat comment, so thank you for sharing that.
And then we have a message from the public safety team.
From Homer Honeycake.
Homer Honeycake.
And by the way, he's in the audience, and he's giving me a glare right now. So.
And it's not from his head.
So. And now he's using gestures. I won't tell you what they are. But he would like to say a thank you to everyone. He and his team. Everybody has really been following the off-campus guidelines. We put a lot of things in place to keep you all as safe as possible. So he just wanted to share that his team is really noticing everybody is being very careful with that.
Yeah.
Coming back in, sharing where they were, making sure they had no contact with people. And also you all have been calling in just to double check.
Yeah,
is it okay if I go and do this? And this is what I'm going to do if I go.
Right.
This is what it will look like.
Right.
So everybody has done a great job with that. And we're all in it together, so it just takes all of us to work through some of this. Sometimes you all will call us with some things and we get stumped. So we get a little group together and we run it past each other and be like, okay, this is what they're doing. Does it make sense and is it safe?
But, when we get together, we have that physical distancing, though.
We do.
I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression, Lisa.
No, we do not get closer than 6 feet.
We still say 6 feet apart from each other when we do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes even further than that.
We had a unique one, though, didn't we? We had someone call and ask if they could go exercise their vehicle. And we said, absolutely, sure. And then they said to us, well, I don't really own a car. It's a friend of mine that has the car, and if they want to do the exercising, can I go with them? And no, that doesn't
probably
quite.
not.
That kind of defeats the purpose a little bit of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have to call a friend in from outside to come pick you up, that probably we're going to have to say no.
Yeah, that one's going to have to be a hard no right now. But very creative.
But it was creative.
Very creative.
They get points for that.
They do get points. I'm not sure what that points actually add up to.
I don't know, but it didn't add up to a ride. So so they didn't get much out of it. But we appreciate people calling and asking those different scenarios that come up. So thank you for doing that.
That's good. Now, Lisa, one of the questions that we've got, the first one is, I think the strawberries were a huge hit last week.
They were.
A huge hit, yeah.
And Whitney has recovered. I
she
talked
needed
to her
the weekend
today.
to do that, though, didn't she?
She did need the weekend. But our first question today is, will there be another opportunity to order strawberries?
And Whitney said over her dead body, right?
That's what she said last week.
Oh, that was last week.
But this week, since she's recovered, she did say yes one more time. So she has called our farmer.
Yes.
And the farmer said he can do it one more time for us.
And this farm hasn't closed, which
farm
is good.
Has not closed.
Right.
Nope. And
no
they
COVID-19 there.
They follow good protocols so that we feel comfortable with them. So she's going to put out the order form one more time this week.
Okay.
And I think probably have them turned in by Friday.
By the end of the
guess.
week. Yeah.
So just be looking for that. The strawberry order forms are going to be out again one more time. Okay?
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. What was our next question?
Our next one is also food related.
Ah, yes.
What is the best way to warm up food when I take it home from the bistro or the clubhouse? Specifically, how can I warm up fish? I thought this was a great question
Yeah.
because we all think heat it up in the microwave, but we also all know what happens when you heat something up in the microwave.
Gets dry and
It
tough.
gets dried, tough.
Yeah.
It's
not worth
It's not
eating
the
at that
best
point.
way to do it.
No, it's not.
But sometimes that maybe is our only option.
So is there a better way to do this?
There
please?
is. So
Okay.
I called Chef James.
Chef James, yes.
And I said, James, tell me what we can do, because this is a legitimate problem. So this is his answer. Get out a small saute pan. Put a little bit of liquid in it. Keep the temperature low to medium. And then for your fish, you can add thyme, other dried herbs, and lemon juice. This will help keep the moisture in.
Right.
So I thought it was a pretty good suggestion. So you might want to try that out if you have a saute pan.
Now,
Give
for
that a
us,
try.
for us that aren't cooks, when he says adding time, we're not supposed to throw a watch or a clock in
We're
there, right?
not.
Okay.
We're not.
That's an actual,
No.
like a...
It's
or
like
a-
another
a
herb.
Herb? Okay.
Mhm. A herb?
Herb.
Is it a herb?
It's a herb, right? You know, why do you put an H in front of it if it's silent? I don't understand. Why bother? Just say ERB.
that's
It's just
true.
say herb, you know, if it's supposed to be...
That's true. I don't know why.
I don't understand that. Okay.
Nope.
It's a topic for another day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
And the most important thing is when you're reheating fish or meat, what should you not do?
Shouldn't put it in the microwave.
Don't put it in the microwave.
No, it's
Right.
really not your best option.
No, it's not good.
But if you don't have a saute pan, you don't have many other options.
Yeah,
So I get it. But if you don't have to, don't use the microwave
yeah,
for reheating fish.
yeah,
It really dries it out.
yeah.
Yep.
See, I would be tempted to put butter in a pan.
Well, that's
and try-
liquid. I mean, he
guess
didn't say it had to be a certain liquid.
Okay. Well, there
That
you
would
go.
be good.
That might be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
That was it for questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
Yep.
How about birthdays today?
Okay,
I think it looks like we got a lot of them today.
We had several birthdays. So celebrating a lot of special people today. The first one is Linda Lanham.
Linda.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Bob Parrish.
Bob.
And Connie Currans.
Hey,
so
Connie,
happy
all
birthday
right.
to all three of you.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, since we're not on the show tomorrow,
All right, the honeymooners tomorrow.
honeymooners tomorrow, yes, it's Dick Kellum and
Hey,
Jeffrey
Dick.
Couch.
And Jeff.
So we have two special gentlemen tomorrow.
We do. That's
Yep.
awesome. Well,
Yep.
5 birthdays. That's a lot of birthdays.
I know. It's pretty good.
Okay, before we bring John on, I think
Okay.
we're gonna answer the trivia question.
We
that
are,
John said.
yes.
Do we have a winner?
We do, like right away.
We had right away
I think
winner.
the first call, right, Michelle?
Was it the first call? Okay.
Okay.
So what was the answer to Long John Silver's parrot's name, Lisa?
The answer is Captain Flint.
Captain
Captain
Flint.
Flint, in honor or mockery of his former captain, who generally perches on Silver's shoulder and is known to chatter pirate or seafaring phrases like pieces of 8 and stand by to go about.
You got to say it better than that. Arg, pieces of 8. That's what it is, my matey. That's the way you need to say it.
You did that pretty good.
I know.
Almost too good.
Yeah, I've been a pirate a few
You
times.
were a
at
pirate?
Halloween. Yeah, at Halloween. So,
Oh,
and who was the
okay.
winner?
The winner is Carol LeBlanc.
Oh, Carol.
And
okay.
I know she likes wine, so this is a perfect gift. So
So maybe better than a bird box or
I
bird
think
feed?
it was, actually. She probably would agree with me on that. And Brian, he's been listening to our show because, you know, Brian broadcasts us.
Yes, Brian broadcast.
He said the one county that is not showing up yet is
Yeah.
Avery County.
Avery. Okay, where is Avery County?
Brian?
West? It's in the mountains.
It's in the
Okay.
mountains.
All right. And the population is 12 in Avery County?
It could be.
Yeah,
but
it's probably not a whole lot.
But that's must
Yeah.
be a small county.
Okay.
So that's,
Thank you, Brian.
That cleared up that.
There you
yes.
go.
It's nice to have people around that helping
I
us out
know.
here,
I
Tom.
love this.
Okay, and before we get to John, let's
Yes.
just run through the rest of the week's
Let's do
lineup,
that.
so then we can just focus on John when
That's
he comes
what-
up.
Yes.
So
And maybe
tomorrow,
while we're doing that, Michelle can go ahead and start bringing
Sure.
the screen down for
okay.
the presentation.
So Tuesday is the honeymooner shows. Wednesday is Ken Massey. Thursday is Wiz Horner and Jim Kalaki. And Friday we're showing the USO show by Gay Brown, which we did several years ago.
Actually, that'll be fun, Lisa, because
Yes.
we can move around to the front
Yep.
now. But that'll be fun because I remember when we did that show, and
Oh, that was great.
I remember you being tied up during that show.
I
Isn't
think
that
I
right?
was.
Yes,
I think I was.
you were
Yes.
tied up at that show. So for those of you that weren't around to see that or didn't get a chance to see it, it's definitely worth.
It's worth seeing.
It's worth seeing. There was a lot of great acts during that show.
There is.
It's good right there.
All right, John. Well, we're very excited about having you come and talking to us about the Bird Club.
I'm excited to be here. I'm glad I didn't have to sit in that chair up front.
Oh, we think that every day, but
Yeah.
I'm John Scroggins, and I'm the president of the River Landing Bird Club. And here are the officers in our board of directors. I'll talk about them a little bit. But I want to tell you this. One of the ways we train our membership to become better birders is we give them quizzes. Not every month, but every once in a while, and they enjoy those quizzes. And sure enough, it makes them a better birder. So I have a quiz for you today. Just take out a piece of paper and get a pen, and at the end of my presentation here, I'll give you a little quiz. About 15 months ago, most of the people on this slide were maintaining a very credible bluebird trail. So we got together and said, why don't we start a River Landing Bird Club? And the River Landing staff was supportive, and so we did that. Our purpose being to promote the enjoyment, study, and conservation of native birds and native plants. And now we have an unbelievable membership of 89 people.
wow.
That makes us the largest organization on campus.
Yes, it does.
The focal point of the Bird Club is the 48 nest boxes that we have placed all around the campus, and our target bird is the eastern bluebird. But our boxes also attract Carolina chickadees, the tufted titmouse, nuthatches, and tree swallows. We have live presentations once a month in the NPR. Of course, we're not doing that right now, but we hope to get back to doing that before too long. The River Landing is such a great place for birds. We decided to see if we might be qualified and to be designated as a wildlife habitat. So no surprise, with our 9-hole golf course, 4 ponds, a stream, a lot of hardwood trees, bushes, and much more for birds and other animals to find places for food and to raise their young, the state of North Carolina declared River Landing at Sandy Ridge as a wildlife habitat.
Woohoo!
That's a pretty big deal.
That's awesome.
We easily met the qualification for the award and even exceeded a lot. So now let me tell you a little bit about our Bluebird Trail.
Hey, John, before you start, I just want to point out that is actually on the wall right outside of my office. If
Yes, it
anybody would
is.
like to see that certificate, very proudly display it right there. I see it every time I go in and out of my office, so it's a great thing to be able
That's
to
a
have.
great place for it. Now, we have 48 nest boxes on our Bluebird Trail. 16 of our members are also volunteer trail monitors. 48 nest boxes is a lot, so we break it down into 3 trails with an experienced birder leading each group. Jim Burke, Patrick Kennedy, and myself are the 3 trail leaders. We check our boxes every Wednesday in the afternoon. It's a lot of fun, and it's very educational. We gather a lot of data, and Jim Burke, who is one of your neighbors and also a board member of the North American Bluebird Society, he sends all that data that we collect to the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. Most of our trail monitors bring their cell phones along when we check the trail, so we get some amazing photos. I'll show you a few.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
About the first 2 weeks of March, some very serious courtship begins. And then before too long, Mama decides she's going to build a nest. And a couple of weeks after she's got her full clutch of eggs in there, and that's usually 4 to 6 eggs, it takes about 2 weeks for her to incubate those eggs, and then they'll start to hatch. And when they do start to hatch, usually all the eggs will hatch in one day.
Wow.
We also have titmouses. Here's 3 baby titmouses, the tufted titmouse. This is a clutch of, believe it or not, 7 brown-headed nuthatches.
Wow.
They really get them packed in there.
Sure do.
And these birds, these are bluebirds, and these are only about 2 days from fledging. Fledging means they're going to leave the nest.
Huh.
And they'll all leave the nest on the same day usually.
Wow.
Now, as of 29 April, this is the numbers that we have on our bluebird nest boxes.
Wow.
And when we check again, which will be this Wednesday, these numbers will go up very quickly now because we have a lot of eggs in the boxes.
Wow. That's really cool.
We do have some surprises, and these two bluebirds that have gotten into this nest, and it's on the third floor balcony of Glen Eagles, and this is Jim and Sharon Burke's balcony.
Unbelievable.
And the female bluebird is inside the nest, and as you can tell, Romeo there is not the least bit intimidated by the big pink flamingo. And a few weeks later, they've started to hatch out. They're all wondering what time are we going to eat. This is a turkey feather, and we have sighted wild turkeys on the campus, but they don't usually use our nest boxes. So we were a little surprised to see this one. This is a tree swallow nest, and they like to bring feathers back to put in their nest, and I would like to have been there to watch him put this turkey feather through that little hole.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Now, this is something that you'll probably never see again. This was on my portion of the trail, and I checked the box. It was box number 16, and I thought perhaps we had tree swallow eggs in there because tree swallow eggs are this color, white. But I called our bluebird expert, Jim Burke. He came over right away, and as we approached the nest box, the female bluebird flew out.
Huh.
So these are really white bluebird eggs.
Wow, that's amazing.
And Jim's never seen it before. I've never seen it before. And I don't know anybody else that's seen it before. Okay, when I sent this picture out to all of the members of the bird club, I got some funny questions back like, are these going to be albino birds? Are they going to be all white? But no, they fledged about 4 days ago. They left the nest. They were all blue. It was 5 healthy bluebirds.
That's cool.
Wow.
Okay, that's just a little bit about the Bluebird Club for you. And now let's take a little quiz. I'm going to show you 10 pictures of birds that we see almost every day here at River Landing. And you'll get a chance to see if you know what they are. This bird's about the size of a house sparrow. It's got a little tuft of feathers on the top of its head. This bird is also about the size of a house sparrow. And this is the male of this species. This bird's almost always upside down, chirping around, making a lot of noise.
Look how it blends right in with the tree.
This is the perkiest little bird in town. He's always got his tail up, hopping all around the place, always in the bushes and low to the ground. And I think everybody's going to know what this bird is.
Yeah. That's a bluebird, right?
Close, Tom.
This is the real traveler. When this thing migrates, it goes all the way down to South America.
Wow.
Yes, this is a woodpecker, but what kind of woodpecker?
Mm-hmm.
This little bird is even smaller than a house sparrow. One of Carolina's favorite. I think everybody will know what that bird is. Lisa's got the look on her face like she doesn't know what bird that is.
You'd be right, John.
We've got 4 ponds, and this bird is around winter and summer, and fall and spring, and you can see him around any one of the 4 of our ponds, usually every day. And here's the last one. This bird's smaller than a house sparrow. And when you see one, you see a lot. Okay, let's see how you did. That's the tufted titmouse.
I love the little angle at the top of the
I do
head
too.
there.
It's a great picture. This is the house finch. The brown-headed nuthatch.
They're cool birds.
The Carolina wren. And, of course, the ruby-throated hummingbird. They're all over the place right now. This is the red-bellied woodpecker. A lot of people mistake this for the red-headed woodpecker, but if you saw them side by side, you'd know which one is the red-headed.
I got one of them in my backyard, and I always thought it was a red-headed woodpecker until somebody corrected me and said, no, it's a red-bellied woodpecker.
It is.
So,
Not much red on the belly, but that's the name.
yep.
The Carolina chickadee. Beautiful bird. The northern mockingbird. The great blue heron. And finally, the American goldfinch.
Beautiful.
So I'll leave that up there. And Tom, you said you might have a question.
Yeah, so I have a bluebird house, and I've always been told that first two questions, I guess. Is it true that the bluebirds, after their babies have hatched, that they get rid of the shells in the nest? Is that true?
Yeah, the parents will take the shells and take them away from the nest.
That's really interesting, I think. That,
Yep.
they're good housekeepers, obviously.
They are.
And then the second question is, when I've always been told, and I don't know if this is true or not, that after you have them hatch and they've fledged and they're gone, that you empty the nest out and the next bird will come in and build. Is that true?
That's what we do.
That's what we do. Okay,
what
that's part of the standard protocol then?
And the two birds that built a nest in that box, they may come back and before you can take it out, start building another nest right on top of it.
Wow.
But they like to build another fresh nest.
Okay, very
We
good.
we clean them out after the birds fledge, and then they come back and get started. A female bluebird can build a nest in one day.
Wow.
So, and what are the bluebird's biggest enemies at this point, as far as when the eggs are there, and that because I've seen a cat hangs around my bluebird house. I have to chase the cat away every once in a while.
By far, the domestic cat is the worst enemy of not only the bluebird, but all birds.
Yeah,
And we lose a few to snakes.
snakes. I was wondering that
the
too.
black snake.
Yeah.
And if a raccoon can get into the box, they'll destroy and eat the eggs.
Wow.
And you'll see all of our nest boxes now, almost all of them, now have baffles to keep those animals and critters from getting up to the box.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that was all the questions I had, but I was just very curious about that.
I think
Thank
we had one question on Friday, too, of how close should the birdhouses be to each other?
Oh, yeah.
Like a
if you have
bluebird
multiple
house.
on your
How
property.
close
Yeah,
can you have them?
We would like to see them be 100 yards away.
Wow.
Okay.
But when
okay.
you get up to the number of like 48, that gets to be difficult. And if you would like to have one in your backyard, and Homer lives next door to you, and he would like to have one in his backyard, so we just try to stretch them out as far as we can.
Gotcha.
And any time that someone wants to put a birdhouse up, some of our new residents, and they want some advice as to where to place it, which way to face it, and all of those things, then anybody in the bird club would be more than happy to come over and give them some good ideas. And you were going to ask me a question, Lisa, about membership.
Yeah. So
We've got
John,
a lot of
what if
new
we wanna
residents
join?
coming in, and what we're going to do, and we're going to do this very quickly, we're going to take our application for membership form and put it on CareMerge and try to set it up so that they can fill it out online.
Okay. That's great.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Thanks for having me as a guest.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
this
for
was
coming
great.
on. This
Thank
was
you.
fantastic. I enjoyed this very
and
much.
Katie, too.
And thank you to our bird club for us being the wild habitat here. I mean, the wild sanctuary. I think that is awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
We're at a great certification to be able to have. So thank you for that. So
Okay, thank you for having
thank
me.
you, John.
Okay. Thank you.
So, well, Lisa, I think we're about ready to call it quits for today.
I think so.
I'm trying to remember if there was anything else we were going to remind residents about before we say goodbye today.
I don't think there was. I think this was it.
Yeah, I
today.
got something in my mind, but it's not coming in right now. So it must not be that important if that's the case. But
Right.
John, again, a special thank you to you for coming today. We got Ken coming on Wednesday, and Thursday it'll be great to have Jim and Wiz here to talk about scholarship and program and all. So if you got any questions about anything that we shared today, please feel free to contact us. And otherwise, enjoy the day. I think it's another beautiful day out there. And it's going to get colder, I think after today, we're looking at a stretch of time where it's, when I say colder, it's still going to get into the 60s. But overnight, I think Scooter was saying even maybe Friday night or Saturday night it's supposed to drip down to
37.
37. So,
yeah.
For you all that have gardens, you might want to keep an eye on that. You might want to cover up your gardens either at home or here or wherever it is that you've got gardens at. But, okay, well, we've had another long show today, but that was a great show today.
Yeah, it was great.
So, for now, we're just going to say goodbye. We love you, and we'll see you again on Wednesday.